Hey guys, my name is Desiree and you're watching Corporate and Cultured.
Did you realize that you were a champion in their eyes? Yes, I did. So I packed it up and brought it back to the crib. Just a little something to show you how we live.
Alright guys, so we are here for my first video as promised with content, and it's going to be titled How to Secure Your Own Bag. I'm literally so excited to be back and to share the things that I know that have helped me and that God has just kind of taught me through experiences, a lot of failures, but also some good successes as well. And so I'm just going to get right into it. So I want these videos to be extremely intentional, and so if you see me looking down, I do have like some notes. I just want to make sure I hit on everything and I don't miss anything. I want you to have as much help as you possibly can. Essentially, I want this to help you going into the job fairs and whether you're looking for a job or an internship or whatever may have you. So here is the giveaway. I'm gonna be choosing two people. There's going to be a gift card or cash app of $100 to the first prize winner, and the second prize winner is going to be getting $50. And so the hope is that this helps you in some way, aid anything you need, whether that be books or groceries or just really anything, as being a student can be very hard. So first and foremost, the three things I want to talk about, and I'll put them right here. We're gonna go over those brief overview, and then I'm gonna dive into it. So the first thing is preparation and positioning. Probably like, what is this girl talking about? Like, what is she talking about? Well, I'm gonna break it down to you the best way I know how. The second thing is going to be making real connections. And last but not least, do not count yourself out. And so let's go ahead and dive into these. I'm going to be giving you just examples and try to make it as practical as possible so that you understand it. All right, so preparation and positioning. So I want to start out by asking you to throw away luck and throw away your idea of chance. In my opinion, there's really no such thing. There is no such thing. A quote by Oprah Winfrey that I really like, and actually most recently found, was, "What people confuse to be luck is perfect preparation meeting opportunity." With that being said, I love this quote because it tells you, it makes it very clear that in order to get your opportunity, to walk in your opportunity, there has to be some level of preparation that you've done. And I truly believe this wholeheartedly. So let me break this down. When I got my job, as well as the many opportunities that I got to choose from, there was a GPA requirement or minimum for most of these companies. And so had I not been preparing my 3.5, 4 years of school for that moment, I would not have that opportunity. I wouldn't be eligible for it. It may be presented, but can I walk into it? And the answer would have been no. I want to simplify this for you because I don't want you to think that you have to prepare for some huge task that you know nothing of. My preparation through college looked like me staying in the library studying when people were out partying. Me deciding to get work done and make sure my work was turned in on time before going out to a social event. Me going to tutoring when I needed help instead of depending on myself to learn it myself. The way I look at preparation is we prepare for things without even knowing it. Taking care of business on the daily, your daily responsibility, your daily tasks, ensures that your business will take care of you. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing day in and day out, turning in assignments, making sure your grades are up to par, checking Canvas, do not wait till the end of the semester to make sure you're making good grades. Do it in the middle, in the beginning, and just make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, because you are at school to get that education. There's just certain responsibilities that come with you being a student. Every day you take care of those is every day that you're better preparing yourself for the opportunities to come. And so it's not this really hard, complex idea of preparation. It's just planning and preparing and taking care of your business. So like I said, this is preparation and positioning. So let's be clear. You can have these things deep down inside you. You can have all these gifts. You could have had the best GPA and been involved in all these organizations. But if you're not positioning yourself to walk into your blessings, your opportunities, you may miss them. And I can assure you that if you miss them, someone else will come and get them. So one thing that I like to remind myself of is God gives everyone gifts, right? And if we don't use these gifts, they can be taken away. But if we use them, they can be maximized and multiplied. And so I want you to think of yourself in the same way. You have qualifications, you have all these things that you've been doing over time that have helped prepare you for an opportunity. And so make sure that you're positioning yourself to be rewarded for that, to reap your harvest. And so for me, that looks like going to the job fair, but not only going, strategizing. What am I going to do while I'm here? I used to go to the job fair and try to go to as many companies as I could, I guess, but what was really my point in that? Was I really positioning myself for success? And the answer to that question is no, and we're going to get into that with my second point. So my second point is making real connections. And I just want to emphasize on this and really just stay here for a while, because in college, we all know those people and see those people who everybody knows their name. They're on the headlines, you know, with the newspaper at school, or they're shaking hands with the chancellor. They're involved in absolutely everything. And it made me feel, when I was in college at first, before I started to learn, you know, who I am and what I bring to the table and whose I am, it made me feel like I was inadequate in some ways, because I was very introverted when I first came into college. And I came from like an inner city high school. Like, I was just, logically speaking, what the world says, I was kind of just lucky to be in the position that I was in. But the truth is, I was favored, and favored isn't fair. With that being said, I felt like that's what I had to be, but that's not who I was. And so we hear that it is not what you know, it is who you know. But the way that that quote is used is really backwards, because that refers to mere men, human beings, holding the keys to our success. And God just spoke onto me and said, okay, that's true. It is not what you know, it's who you know. But I am the who, because I hold the key to any door. I can open any door, I can close any door that man does not have the power to do. When I started to realize that, I started to shift my focus from being everywhere, I guess, and then moving to where I needed to be. I would speak to God about what I wanted. I would speak to God about what I saw for myself. And I would ask him, what do you see for me? I would narrow down and stop trying to pressure myself to be this thing that I was never really called to be. And so beware of serial networking, which in my opinion is just connecting the dots, shaking a hand, just getting to say that you know someone for the sake of knowing them. No one cares about that. Like, when they go in the hotel room and read your resume, you may be extremely qualified, but I'm here to tell you that God does not call the qualified, he qualifies the call. So what are you going to do when you shake hands with that person who's seeing 400 people a day? You make a real connection. I can't do small talk. I can't do fake things. And so my last career fair, which is where my opportunities breeded from, where before I had been going to 20, 30 companies, as many as I could, I put down 5. Because I knew myself. I knew how God created me. I knew my makeup. And so I said, I'm going to go to these 5 companies and be intentional and have a strategy about it and make connections. And so what I did is, everyone loves to talk about themselves. I know you hear this all the time, but it is so true. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. And I want to talk about you, not because I want something from you necessarily, because I'm trying to learn from you. As well, I'm trying to leave a lasting impression. So when you're talking to these recruiters and these job interviewers, a lot of times they're interviewing you on things that they've had experience with or they know something about. And so they ask you who you are, you give your little elevator pitch, but then you ask, well, what do you do with the company? Well, do you know anything about this specific field? What do these opportunities look like? You know what I'm saying? So you have to ask them, and that just breeds a natural and organic conversation. And what I found is when people see that you're genuine and that you care, that resonates in their minds. Along with this, I know you've heard what sets you apart. And I used to hate this question, because I'd be like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to get a job. I'm just trying to get into my opportunity. But I realized that the things that set me apart, I guess, would have nothing to do with my major. You know, they had everything to do with who I was personally. And so I'll share with you, two things that set me apart is I'm able to make people laugh. And it's not like I wouldn't even go as far as to say like I'm extremely funny, but I'm able to make them laugh. And I found that when I make people laugh, they're attracted to me in some way. They want to have a conversation with me. They want to know more about me because it's just this positive energy. It's this positive feeling you get when you're speaking to someone. If someone makes you feel good, you're going to want to be around them. That's one. And then two, I'm able to communicate and be relatable. And so those are things that one might say, that has nothing to do with supply chain. That has nothing to do with business, but it has everything to do with people. And the people that you're meeting are going to be the gatekeepers, if you will, even if you're putting that much power into them, the gatekeepers to your opportunity. You know, I know that God holds the door to everything for me. I know that, but it is my, responsibility to prepare, position, and then to make sure that I'm really making these connections and I am expressing myself in the best way possible. And so how are you going to do that? And so I'm going to do that through the gifts that God has given me. And so please just think about that. Serial networking is not always the best. And people are right. It is not what you know. It is who you know. Who being God. Whose are you? You're a child of the Most High God. And he will open those doors that are meant for you. As long as you prepare and position. All right. Dress. Let's talk about, I probably butchered that. Don't count yourself out. Very abstract, very ambiguous with this topic or this point, but I'm gonna dive into it because I would say that a lot of us sell ourselves short. A lot of us shortchange ourselves, and it's not because we're bad people, and it's not because we don't see good in us. A lot of times it's because we don't see where we're destined to be. We don't have that foresight. We don't have that. And so if I was to depend on where I think I am or where I think I should be, I'd be shortchanging myself every single time. In fact, when I was going to the jobs that I was going to, in my head, I thought, I'll never get this. I'll never get it, but I'm going to do it. I stepped out on faith. I'm going to do it. When I got the interview, I was like, what's going on? like what is going on? Because the way I see myself is not how God sees me. His thoughts and his ways are higher. He has plans for me. He has plans for me to prosper me. You know what I'm saying? And so I may not always have the knowledge of what's to come. And so I'm basing what I see for myself on my present. But God says no. No. I'm going to do exceedingly and abundantly more. You know what I'm saying? So please do not count yourself out. It's dangerous. It is dangerous. It is dangerous because you will sell yourself short every time. In this, go to those companies and those people that you think that you're not qualified for. Because as I stated, God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He will make provisions for you to walk into your opportunity. He will do things for you and you will know that it's nothing of him. It's nothing but him. Literally take a step out on faith, take a step out on chance, because what if your opportunity is predicated upon your belief in what God can do? Are you going to step out? Are you going to step out? And I'm just giving you a testament, like it's worth it. It is so worth it. It is so worth it because he does exceed our expectations every single time. He's not like us, you know what I'm saying? And so he's put certain things down within us so that when we walk into these opportunities, we can be successful in them. So he has plans for you. And I'll probably put some verses down in the bio with each section just to further, I guess, support what I'm saying. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so with not counting yourself out, I just want to say that if you always shoot for practical, if you always shoot for logic from your own thought process and your own standpoint, that is exactly where you're staying. You will stay in what's practical. And really, what is practical? You know what I'm saying? Practical is dependent upon what we think. But can you believe in something more? Can you have faith for something more? Can you do things that everyone around you is saying, hey, do you know who you just applied for? Do you know the qualifications? Yeah, I know the qualifications, but I also know my God. And eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard all he has planned for me. And so literally, please do not count yourself out. Step out on faith. Be bold and courageous. We are commanded to be those things. And I promise you, God will show up and show out. With that being said, that wraps up just the 3 tips that I really wanted to give you to motivate you and support you as you go and look for these opportunities, these jobs. All right, I hope all of that helped. I hope it was beneficial and you were able to pick out the parts that were important to you. I was editing the video and I realized that I didn't really do a proper outro, so I wanted to come back and do that. I hope you enjoyed it. Please keep supporting me and watching me, and also follow me on my social media forums and platforms just to stay up to date on everything I'm doing. There'll be more giveaways, lookbooks, and things of that nature to keep everyone engaged and involved. I want it to be mutually beneficial. So thank you so much. Your support is greatly appreciated.
You don't see just how fly my style is. I don't see why I need a